Welcome to the EnactusUFSQ instructional video for the Summer Action Challenge Phase 1 Team Building. I just want to reiterate that the main purpose of these videos is to assist students specifically with the submission aspect of the deliverables for the Summer Action Challenge. What this means is that I will not be going into detail about the specific technologies or the specific things that you need to know to complete each activity, so it will require some autonomy. I'll try to make it easy by providing links to LinkedIn courses or YouTube videos on the specific topics, but at the end of the day, it's up to project teams to actually make sure that they get done with all the activities listed. The first activity is to simply form a team. So at this point, you're either in an enterprise team or in one of the interest groups created by the project manager. So I think that we can just skip through this activity and consider it done. The next activity is to define team roles and responsibilities. Now with this activity, I urge team members to not be too restricted by the conventional labels that we have in a corporate environment. I don't think that everyone should focus on specifically trying to assign someone your standard positions like your secretary, your treasurer, your president. So rather than trying to restrict someone to a secretarial position and have them to fulfill those roles, one tip that I can give is just sit down as a team and after discussing what everyone is good at and what everyone enjoys, try and make the position based off of those activities. This will also help in terms of making sure that everyone always completes the activities that they have made themselves responsible for, because the tasks haven't been put upon anyone by anyone else, but rather people have volunteered to complete those activities. Once you're done with listing out all of these activities, turning them into responsibilities and assigning everyone roles, what you're going to need to do is document all of this legislature. You're going to need to make a document that contains the roles and responsibilities of each team members and try to make it as specific as possible. That way it'll be a lot easier when you need to actually monitor and evaluate everyone's performance. You should also include any other procedures that you deem important for the operation of your team. This can include any kind of late fees or penalties for not attending meetings, any kind of procedure that you will follow in the case that you need to remove an individual from the board of directors, any kind of legislature involving how monies will be handled in the business. It's important to get these completed very early on in the team's creation. That way it does not become a recurring issue going forward. The creation of this document can be in any format using any technologies, but what's important is that at the end of the day, this document will be made available on Google Drive. That way we can actually submit it for evaluation. This next part of this video will speak onto how to submit these deliverables onto our team's Google Drive. I will not be going over specifically how to use Google Drive because this would cover way too much content, and this is something that, like I said, you will need to exercise some autonomy to actually upskill yourself in the case that you have no idea how to use the platform. In the description, I will link to a LinkedIn course on how to use Google Drive. Many aren't aware, but as a UFS student, you are actually privy to using LinkedIn Learning for free. Okay, so let's make an example with if you made your team roles and responsibilities document using Microsoft Word. So once you're on Google Drive, what you're going to want to do is upload the document that you guys have made. So on PC, all you have to do is right click, select File Upload, select the document that you want to upload, then click Open. Just wait for it to actually finish uploading and then it should appear on your screen. From this point, what you need to know how to do is to share the document. I can't emphasize this enough. You should make sure that what you're sharing is actually readable by who you're sharing it to. As you can see, by default, everything is set to restricted, so that only people you add and send invites to have access to a document. However, what you want is for anyone with the link to be able to view the document. Make sure that it's set to viewer instead of commenter or editor, unless you actually want people to be able to edit the file. Then from here you can just click copy link. An alternative to creating in Microsoft Word on your PC, and what I generally prefer, especially when I know that I'm going to be sharing something with someone else, is to already create it within Google Drive. As part of the Google ecosystem, everyone can use Google Docs for free. So what you're going to want to do is create a brand new document and then create your team roles and responsibilities. Then once you're done with that, you're just going to name the document. Okay, with Trello, I'm going to try and be a bit gracious and just touch on how to use the technology a little bit. But like I said, if you want to get good at it, you're going to have to actually put in the work to look for resources for you to go through. Now, when making a Trello account, you have the option to just sign in using Google Drive. Genuinely, anytime I make a website, I just use this because it's just a one-click thing and your account is automatically made. Or you can create an account by manually entering your email over here. However, I'm just going to use one of my burner emails to create an account, just to guide you guys along the way. If you're wondering what I mean by burner email, that just means that it's one of the emails that I created to make use of free trials with all the apps that I use. So as you can see, when you create an account using Google, it automatically sets everything up for you. Then all you have to say is create your account. So now it's made an Atlassian account, which is the company that has created Trello. So from there, you just need to sign up for the Trello platform. Once I'm back at the screen, I'm just going to select the Gmail account that I used to make the account. And thankfully, Trello is going to take me through all the steps needed to create a board, your first list, and then start making activities. I suggest that you follow along with the tutorial. So it all starts with making a board. I'm going to call this miscellaneous team board. Now, Trello, in using its naming conventions, took a very literal approach. If you think of what a Trello board is, it is literally like any kind of whiteboard that you can have in a classroom. And on the board, you can have multiple lists. Now, these lists are not confined to being labeled by different things. Like as you can see here on the right, it has a to-do list, a doing list, and a done list. This is just the general structure that people use on Trello when it comes to project management and creating timelines, just to be able to see the progress that you have in everything that you're doing. Now, the lists in Trello work just like lists in real life. Each line will have a different item, and each item is just a different activity that you have to do at any point in time. After creating this board using the Trello tutorial, I will show you guys why people prefer Trello for project management and what makes these lists in Trello different from having a physical list or having a list using the notepad on your phone. As you can see, Trello is also very useful for collaboration because you can create a team and invite all of your team members. And from this point onwards, you can all collaborate and work synchronously. I'm just going to leave this open, but this is the point whereby you'd enter all of your team members' names. So at this point, you can see that Trello has automatically made this board for me. Now this area here, as you can see, is the actual board, and it has our to-do list, our busy with list, and our done list with the 2 items that we had added early on. Up here it just says Trello Workspace, but this is generally the name of the team or organization that you are working with. And there's a whole bunch of other functionality that you can see up here at the top and on the side here, but you guys need to take out the time to learn those yourselves. Now, like I said, the nice thing about Trello cards is that you can move them between lists to symbolize the progression of a task between different stages. The other incredible thing about these cards on Trello is that they contain a lot of other functionality, including adding specific members, to a card to make them responsible for that activity, adding labels so that you can search for cards efficiently. You can add an entire checklist to break down all of the subtasks involved with this activity. You can attach a due date to the card, but the functionality that we are most interested in is adding an actual attachment to the Trello board. Now, remember that link that we copied from our team's Google Drive? What we're going to do is paste that link in this field and then just attach a display test so people can easily see what this document we've attached is. Team roles and responsibilities. And as you can see, we've made a Google Drive attachment to this kickoff meeting card. Now, all you have to do is enable Google Drive, because Google Drive is one of the power-ups that are in Trello. And now you successfully attached the document to your Trello board. Now, it doesn't make a lot of sense for this to be attached to something called the kickoff meeting. So maybe this card could say something like, and just to have a further example, you could create a checklist with sub-activities such as now that we are done with this activity, we can move from to do to busy with, and then from busy with to actually completed. Now I've just switched over to the upscale teams board just to give a practical example of what this would look like. Now don't forget the second part of the deliverable submission, which is the timelines for phase 2 and 3 activities. So on your Trello or MS Planner board, you should take all of the activities in phase 2 and 3, as well as any other activities that the team is planning to do, and incorporate them onto the Trello board. What this will help with is overall project management and seeing the progress of team members with activities that they've been assigned. So beyond being a submission for the Summer Action Challenge, this is a very invaluable team when it comes to the project management of your enterprises. So at this point, you're completely done with phase 1, but how exactly do we submit? Now, what you're going to do is share a link to the Trello board. Once again, I'd like to reiterate that anytime you share anything, please make sure that what you're sharing is actually accessible. So with Trello, you have to go up here to the top right and click on share. As you can see, Trello also has some functionality for sharing things as a link. Now, on the off chance that you're paying for Trello, you can share the board to someone and allow them to only be an observer. Now, assuming that you're like the rest of our students, you're going to leave it on the default option of can join as member. If you're worried that someone will join the board and mess around with it, at the end of the competition, when we let you know, you can just delete any existing links. Then you're going to want to head over to the EnactusUFSQ Teams Drive. You'll find the link in the description of the WhatsApp group. I'm going to hope that this isn't the first time you're seeing this drive, but assuming that it is, on this side you'll find the templates for business model canvases and empathy map canvases. This is the SAC handbook as well as the memo that was given out, but for this specific task you're going to want to head over to the deliverables. You're going to want to create a new folder. Create a new document. Maybe call it phase 1 deliverables, and then just paste the invite to your Trello board. The reasoning behind this is so that come submission time, we can just deliver a once-off link and submit for every team. Now, the third activity in this phase is to actually complete a team building exercise. Now, because we've been stuck at home and a lot of people don't live anywhere near each other, everyone has to be a bit creative on how they complete this activity. assuming that you guys have absolutely no idea what to do, a few suggestions that I may have is to have an online music quiz. This is something that me and my friends who live a bit further away from each other do, because it doesn't require you to download anything, to register for anything. It's very simple and can provide some fun for a little bit of time. Now, if you are an Android user and have ever subwowed to play the iMessage games, you can also use an app called Plato. It offers pretty much the same functionality, just that you don't have to have a specific kind of operating system on your phone. This is another option for team building. Now, my personal favorite platform is Discord. It does have a little bit of a learning curve, but it's nothing that you can't get over with just a little bit of effort. Now, once you have this and you figured out how to use it, you can stream videos together, you can watch YouTube together. There's a whole bunch of built-in games that everyone can play together. So this would be my personal 5-star recommendation. But like I said, every team is going to have to be a bit creative when it comes to this.